I need to give you guys an apology, and this is probably going to be hard to talk about, but I'll do my best. Now, if you've been following me on YouTube, you know that I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I rarely miss a stream. But if I do, maybe for you guys it's no big deal. But for those of you who are my students, you probably have seen me rock up every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Sunday, without fail. Except for one time when my wife burnt herself while cooking and I had to take her to the hospital. Other than that, I've always shown up to my streams. And I always tell my other coaches too, if you're going to cancel a stream, we can do that, but never cancel within 24 hours of the time that you're going to be showing up. It's not cool for the people who are waiting to hear from you. It's not cool for the students who had booked it at that time to come and see you. It's a really bad idea to cancel and not give more than 24 hours notice. Yet, I did that twice this week. And for that, I apologize, guys. If you've been waiting on me to look at your website to help you with your ads, I'm really sorry. And I wanted to explain what happened. And I was thinking about this for a while. I want this channel to be real. I want you guys to know that I'm a real person. I got things going on that you don't know about, or maybe you do. And we all do. We all have things going on. But this isn't a channel where I show you guys a rosy, fake view of what it's like to do dropshipping. I don't own a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or any other sports car. And you know what? I probably never will, because my wife knows exactly how I'm going to drive that thing if I ever get it, and I'm going to wrap around a tree. But more important than that is I'm based in reality where I don't spend money on stupid things that I don't need. Because even though I make money from dropshipping and I make enough money, I've got bills to pay too. We've got rent. We've got exorbitant amounts of money that we spend on food every week, which is just ridiculous. We've got medical expenses. We've got insurance. We've got private schooling. We've got all of these things that my dropshipping pays for. It doesn't really leave much else to go waste money on stupid things that don't make sense, right? It doesn't matter how much you earn. If you're wasting your money, you're wasting your money. But I wanted this channel to be about reality. And the reality is this. I started my dropshipping journey back in the corporate world where I felt like my job wasn't valued. My time wasn't valued. I was working on stupid projects where the business that we were working for would spend $1 or $2 million only to pull the rug on the project and waste all of that time and energy. And I didn't feel like that was shaping the world, shaping my family, or helping anybody else. And I knew there was something else out there for me. And I started learning how to sell products online. Eventually that led me to learn how to sell t-shirts online, and that led me to building my very first dropshipping store. At that point in time, everything in my family was pretty great. I just had this vision in my head. I wanted out of the corporate world, and I wanted to spend more time at home with my family. And I needed to be able to work from home. This is before work from home was even a thing, by the way. Fast forward a year or so into that, and I hadn't had any real success. The most success I'd had was maybe a $20,000 a month in revenue. Quickly followed up by a negative $20,000 a month in revenue, which left me pretty much at zero. But I'd seen the potential that you could make from this. And then my wife got sick, and she was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer at 33 years old? It was way too young for anything like that. She completely shocked us, and the ground fell from underneath us. And I remember throughout her treatment process, one of the things I did to keep myself sane was e-commerce, building businesses, building websites, building products, trying to get them to work. And I had, various bits of success here and there. It kept me going. It was something that I could focus on. And I guess that's where I fell in love with it. When she'd finished her treatment, she was really anxious. She was really, really worried. Every day coming home, cancer's going to come back. Cancer's going to come back. Cancer's going to come back. So what I did is I found her a hobby that she could do. That was pretty much on the dining room table. It was a craft. It didn't require much thought. It didn't require any skills. It was called diamond painting. I'm looking at diamond painting right now here on my browser. This is the business that I built for her because she fell in love with this craft, and I realized that it can help other people. So we built a business around this. And you can see here, we've got in the About Us here, we've got our journey where this was us right before we got started with home craftology and running this business. That was my wife in treatment there. And here is her after treatment with her hair starting to grow. Yes, I'm a little bit younger. And here's her on the dining room table doing the craft she loves. So we built this business and it did really well. We were able to expand this business into several other crafting businesses. We did paint by numbers, we did cross stitching, we did scratch art, all separate businesses, and they all did particularly well. And some of those we've closed down and amalgamated into home craftology. Other ones we've sold, so we've done well in the crafting space. And of course I have other dropshipping stores now that I run. I've got a bunch of other stores, but it was my wife's journey that started it all. And it was the need for me to be flexible and have extra income so that I could be home spending more time with her and the kids. I mean, there was a point where my daughter, when she was like 8-9 years old, came and said, I don't even remember you being home. And I was just devastated because she was right. I was leaving the house at 7 a.m. and I was getting home at 7:30 p.m. once I got the train and once I got in my car and drove from the train station home, or a quarter bus, or whatever it is that I was doing at the time. But it was my wife's sickness that was the catalyst of, holy crap, I need to make this work. And boy, did I make it work. We have had 100,000 orders in Homecraftology. We've made 8 figures in sales. But trust me, those are just big numbers, and those are certainly not profit. I would say about a third of that would be profit, around about a third. And over an 8-year period, we've done quite well. But the reality is we've had peaks and troughs. And if you're getting into dropshipping now, you will have peaks and troughs. When you first have your first winners, you'll make $20,000, $30 a month. That will continue for a while. If you're smart, you'll keep going. You'll keep finding more products and different niches and different audiences and keep growing. If you're not smart, you'll sit back and you'll spend your money. But let me tell you, we've had troubling times. We've had times where we were living in a mansion. We've had times where we overextended ourselves and spent way too much money and had to move out of the mansion. We've had times where we've rebuilt the businesses back from scratch. There was a time, 2021, I think, end of that, when Apple announced they were going to start allowing people to opt out of Facebook tracking, and that just devastated our business, all of our businesses, in fact. And we had to start from square one again. But none of that compares to what happened this week when my wife felt another lump and we went into panic mode. And we went and got a scan done. And that scan came back as there is definitely something there we need to look at. And that was on Monday night. And by Tuesday night, we were in full-blown panic mode. No amount of money you can make can prepare you for this kind of thing. We were going back to thinking of what it was like when she was first diagnosed and going down that rabbit hole, and we were panicking. And I couldn't bring myself to get online and teach you guys because I couldn't get that out of my head. And then I thought maybe I would be okay for Thursday, but we were able to schedule in a biopsy for Thursday. And when we got that emergency appointment, I realized I couldn't show up. But we did the appointment and we spoke to the radiologist. And the radiologist, we didn't get to speak to a radiologist for the first scan. It was just a person sitting there with an ultrasound, looking over it, taking pictures, not really talking. They don't talk to you. They don't tell you what's going on. When we talked to the radiologist, she was able to actually go and zoom in on the problem area and say, you know what, it's tiny. It could actually be anything. And I can confirm it's, at this stage, it's not a new cancer. Thank God for that. It's not new cancer. It could grow into one, but right now it's not something that we need to be in panic mode about. We're still going to take care of it. We've still got to go in and get a biopsy done. We couldn't get the biopsy done on Thursday because it was too small for the radiologist to do. So we had to schedule in a different type of procedure that we'll be able to go in there and actually get a piece of it, make sure of what it is. And if it is the worst, if it is another cancer, well, it'll be really, really tiny, and it will probably be what they would call a reoccurrence or a local reoccurrence, which isn't stage 4, which is fantastic. That's worst case scenario. Best case scenario, it's just a benign piece of tissue that's in there that probably be the catalyst of going to talk to a breast surgeon and just figuring out what our options are so that my wife doesn't have to go through this again, because there are other options. But that's what happened this week, and that's why I wasn't here for my streams, and I do apologize for that. I'm not doing this to be like, oh, woe is me, please feel sorry for us. We live a really healthy, really good lifestyle, and it's dropshipping and teaching that and being so good at this that's enabling me to do this lifestyle. But if I do ever miss streams, it will only ever be because something has thrown a spanner in the works, something meaningful. I'm not going to sit here and just not show up because I don't feel like it. It's going to be something like this. But if that does happen, don't worry. I think I'm going to tell everybody. I think we're going to be real in this channel. I think I want you guys to understand how this business works for real people, so that when I have successes, I'll share them with you guys. When things are difficult, personal-wise, ad-wise, I want to share them with you guys because we are real people and this is a real business. And I think if you can see that someone is living their actual life and having the ups and downs and making money, then you might think this is probably something you can do as well. So that's why from now on, we're going to be open on this channel. We're going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And let's be real. Now, coming up next week, I'll be starting my streams up again, or starting on Sunday. We've actually got some catching up to do. I need to go and find you guys another 40, 50 dropshipping products to run in February. I need to get off the ground and start showing you my brand new store that I created. I created a new store. I created a logo. I've got it waiting for me to start waving my magic wand. I gotta start doing that. So I'm gonna get back on the bandwagon and get these videos out. But in the meantime, stay healthy, stay focused, go chase those conversions, and I will see you soon.